Alright, and it looks like we're live. So, first of all, I want to say shout out to the people who are going to be watching this on the refresh, the replay. I'm going to be leaving this live stream up as I always do with the Gear Talk episodes. So, make sure to let me know down in the comments if you're feeling these or not. But if you're new to this series, to the Gear Talk episodes, this is just going to be a series where I sit and I talk about gear that I'm interested in, gear that I'm using, gear that I've been using. And it's just a platform for me to talk about gear, basically. So many new things coming out, so many things I've been used, so many opinions that I have about gear. So this is just going to be a platform for me to talk about everything that I'm interested in talking about. So let me just check out the live stream real quick to make sure that all my audio is good. Let me know, is the audio straight? How's the music in the background? Can y'all even hear it? Yeah, I just want to make sure these are good. Let me know. Oh, I probably gotta turn off all my audio from everything else. This looks a little bit bright coming through YouTube. Drop that down. YC cripping today. Tight. It's good. All right, so it seems like the audio is good. So in this video today, we're gonna be talking about the GH5. I want to use this as a live stream, but I also want to review the camera. I've always wanted to put out like a full-length review, what I thought about the GH5 camera, because I've been using it for a while, and a lot of people always ask me what I think about it. So this is going to more so be me reviewing the GH5 live. I'm going to be talking about what I love about the camera, what I don't necessarily like about the camera, and I'm going to touch on some hypothetical scenarios about if I plan on leaving the Lumix line for the Sony a7S III when it comes out, or any other camera that's coming out in the near future, because NAB is around the corner and there should be tons of cameras being announced from Sony. I've heard talks of a 6700 Alpha series, an A7 II. So this is just going to be a cool little segment for us to be, able to talk about it. So yeah, I'm just going to go over my simple pros about the GH5, what I love about it, because a lot of people ask, why don't I just use Sony? But the Lumix line has a lot going for it, so let's just dive straight into my pros about the Lumix line, the GH5 in general. So matter of fact, before we even talk about that, let me just talk about my history on Lumix. If you're new here, then you probably just see me using my Canon 62 or my GH5 for music videos, but I've actually been a Lumix adapter for a while now. Before I even used the GH5, I used the GH4 for a really long time. And just a brief backstory history of the different cameras that I used before that. I came from a Canon T2i. I went from that to a Canon 60D. I used a Canon 70 for a really long time. That was like my primary camera for a really long time. That was like my preferred Canon camera to use. And then I finally sold my 70. And then I got the GH4 to get on the 4K wave because 4K was coming in hard. And I used the GH4 for a really long time, and I shot some of my favorite music videos on the GH4. So I've been an adapter of Lumix for a while. After that, I used the Sony a6300 for a while. So I have a brief background in Sony as well. So I'm kind of well versed in all of the mainstream cameras that are out these days. They don't really change that much. So with the Lumix GH5, one of the biggest things that I like about the GH5 that a lot of other camera companies aren't offering at this time, at this price point for the consumers, is variable frame rates, man. And a lot of people don't really think about that. Now, variable frame rates is the option to go in between typical frame rates. So typically on pretty much every camera that's out right now, you'll get 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second. You'll get 60, you'll get 120. With the GH5 and the Lumix line in general, with the GH4, and I even believe on like the G85 maybe, don't quote me on that, but I know for sure on the GH4 and the GH5 you're able to go in between frame rates. So you're able to shoot 36 frames per second if you want, 48, 60, 72, 96, 84, stuff like that. You're able to go in between frame rates. So variable frame rates is like a huge plus for me. That's like one of the things that I really love about Lumix cameras, and that's why I keep reverting backwards into the Lumix line. 120 frames per second, 120 is really cool, and I like it a lot, but sometimes it's just a little bit too slow, and sometimes 60 frames per second is just not slow enough. So that sweet spot for me is like 72. Like pretty much every single music video that you guys see most of the time is 72 frames per second. That's just my sweet spot. That's just what I like. I rarely use 120 unless I'm doing like some travel video stuff, but 72 is like perfect for me for music videos. It's not too slow, it's not too fast. It has a nice mix of everything. So the fact that you can go in between frame rates is like one of my biggest pros of the GH5. I love that, and I love that coming from the Lumix line. So the Lumix line really has that going for it. Really like that, and I wish other companies like Sony and would adapt to this. I don't think that they will. I don't think that they see it as like a primary target for people, but I think that if they did start to offer these different frame rates, that people would see how just how important they are and just how versatile you can get with them, the different looks that you can achieve with these different frame rates. So frame rates is like a big thing for me. I really like that. Another thing that I really like about Lumix cameras is the higher bit rates in 1080p. Now, a lot of people don't really think about 1080p when 4K is available, and that makes sense. I mean, most of the time you're going to be shooting in 4K if you're planning on shooting any real-time footage, but even for slow motion shots, the higher bit rates just produce crispier 1080p footage. So not to say Sony's footage is soft, but the Lumix line, and I think the Lumix line produces the most solid slow motion out of any camera. Not any consumer camera. Let me take that back. We're not talking about cinema cameras. We're talking about just little consumer cameras within like the $4,500 range and stuff like that. So the higher bit rates at 1080p, huge plus for me. When I was using like my 6300, my Alpha Sony, when I would do slow-mo in 1080p, it would kind of break down the higher ISOs you get, and would just become harder to grade at times just because of the bit rate, and compared to the 4K on it, it's just a bit soft. So the high bit rates in the 1080p, huge plus for me. We got a swivel screen. You guys know swivel screens are always a plus. And swivel screens don't even really apply to like, they don't really only apply to vlogging. They apply to getting different angles when you're filming. Like, I'm trying to, like, all right, so look. A really cool example of using a swivel screen to your advantage is like I was shooting a car scene for the OneTakeDrew freestyle video that I just released. Obviously, I have a monitor. If you have a monitor, this is gonna combat all of these things, but some people just don't want to always carry a monitor all the time. So I was shooting a music video scene, and picture me, this seat that I'm in is the passenger seat, which would mean that the driver's seat is over here, and then in front of me facing backwards. That's just such a really bad comparison. All right, so look, this is the camera right here. So the camera's facing the back seat because I'm trying to film them in the back seat. Now, if I wanted to see this angle, I would just flip the screen out like this, and I could just see it, and I could just film it like this. Whereas if the screen was bonded like this, I really couldn't see. I would have to, you know, lean my head over and do all that crazy stuff like that. So swivel screens really come in handy when you're trying to do tricky angles. Now, I mean, with Sony cameras, you can always flip the screen up to do your down low angles and stuff like that, but just having a fully articulating swivel screen is just a plus, no matter how you put it. What else? The buttons are ergonomics. The menu system on the Lumix is just really intuitive. I like it a lot, and it's easy to use, man. I just recently used the Sony a7R III, and they have a really cool feature on that where you can create your own custom menu where you just place everything that you regularly adjust in it. So that was a really smart thing for Sony to do. But you know, the Lumix system is just easy to use. It's like you can go in it without having any prior knowledge of using Lumix cameras and just know what you're doing. So the menu system is intuitive. I like the button layout on this. It's like you got all your primary buttons that you need on the top of the camera: ISO, white balance, exposure adjustments, record, all that stuff like that. But you also got like a little thumbstick right here for it. So like the button layout is pretty fire. You got a wheel right here. It's just, you can't really argue with the build and ergonomics of the GH5. It's beefy, it's hefty. I mean, I know that this is probably going to turn some people off who plan on doing like travel videos and stuff like that, but like the ergonomics of it, the button layouts, pretty much everything about the camera in terms of its physical form is dope. I like it a lot. Other than that though, obviously the GH5 has 4K 60 frames per second. Can't beat that. I don't use it that much. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of 60 frames per second. It works for me. But if I'm doing a music video, I have no problem with scaling up that 1080 footage to fit the 4K timeline just because the bit rate of it is so nice. And most of the times you can't even really tell that it was just scaled up. So the bitrate on the 1080p helps that, but the 4K 60 is also a plus. If you like 60 frames per second, this is going to be a plus for you. The in-body image stabilization, amazing. I think that it's probably the best in any other camera. Like the GH5's in-body image stabilization is like crazy. Like it's like the best. And I've had the pleasure of using a lot of other cameras, so the in-body image stabilization is dope. I like it a lot, of course. I mean, to add to that, you got the battery life, really good. Sony has improved its battery life, of course. Canon has really good battery life as well, but for some of the older Sony models, the battery life is just, it's just kind of poopy, to be completely honest. But I mean, battery life, you know, little stuff like that. So I like the GH5. Overall, I like it a lot. I'm gonna touch on like the negatives, the obvious ones. But I love it though. Like the ergonomics of the camera, the ease of use, the versatility, and the variable frame rates. It has like your basic cinematography features, Zebra's focus peak, and it even has like anamorphic modes and stuff like that. Something like I've never really gotten to the anamorphic modes. I've filmed 10-bit. I wouldn't say 10-bit is like the hugest advantage in the world, to be completely honest with you. Like I thought I was pretty decent at color grading 8-bit footage. So I mean, 10-bit's cool. I mean, that's gonna be a plus for some people. That's not the biggest thing in the world for me. Like all of that stuff, I'm not really a pixel peeper, to be completely honest with you. Like I can tell when footage looks a little bit sharper, but when it doesn't, if the features and just the overall use of the camera match up, and it makes that easier for me, I'm cool with using that camera despite the fact that it might lose out on a little bit of quality. So I'm not really a pixel peeper. I don't really care too much about the 10-bit. It's cool, and I guess it's a plus. But they have like, you know, anamorphic modes and all that other stuff. I don't really use all that, man. It's cool for you to be able to say a camera can do this and it can do this and it can do this, but do you actually use those features? That's like my general argument. Everybody who talks about the GH5, they talk about what it can do, and it can do this and it can do this and it can do this, but it doesn't matter if you don't use those things. I don't really use all those other features, so I'm not even gonna talk about them or even plus them and put them in the positive side of things, because I don't really care for them, to be completely honest. But I love using the GH5 though. I like the versatility with the frame rates. The footage is really sharp. But let me touch on the things that I don't like about it. Obviously the sensor size is awful. Micro Four Thirds camera. I wouldn't say getting depth of field is as hard as everybody makes it seem though. I use a speed booster, which is an additional $600. So the prices definitely do go up, but I got a good range of Canon lenses. So I wouldn't say getting depth of field is the hardest thing in the world. It's definitely not like full frame depth of field, but it works. And I like the footage and the looks that come from it when using Canon lenses or Sigma lenses with the speed booster. So I mean, the sensor size is small. I mean, that just is what it is, and it introduces like noise like fairly easy. So low light situation is not the best. In my professional setting with music videos, I like to use lighting anyways, so that's not really a big negative to me. But the sensor size is small. Depth of field, kind of hard to get, but not the hardest thing in the world. The color science is awful, god awful. The colors that come out of the GH5 are just bad, to be completely honest. It's really bad. It's really bad colors that come from the GH5. And that comes from using Vlog, that comes from using Cinelike D. Whatever you use on this, I think the Rec 709 color profile though is kind of like pretty accurate, but nobody wants to film in that because you need like some sort of like dynamic range when you're filming. But Vlog is a little bit better than Cinelike D in terms of being able to retain colors and being able to change them in post. But just overall science of the colors that come straight out of the camera with minimal adjustments, with you going in and adding contrast, a little bit of saturation, it does add green cast more times than not. So the color science is awful. I wouldn't say I'm a professional colorist or anything like that. I'm fairly good at color grading, so it's not really a problem for me for music videos. But I don't enjoy using this for like regular projects. Like I don't enjoy vlogging on this because it just makes it a hassle to do it. It doesn't make the process easy for me. Like when I was using this to vlog on, I had to go in and I had to do so much color grading to even get my skin to look well, which is why I'm primarily using the 6D for YouTube creation, because it just makes the process easy. Like the colors that come out of it are straight. I can just drop a LUT straight on the footage at like 50%. Footage looks bomb straight out of camera, but the colors are awful. Just to be completely honest with anybody, the colors on the GH5 are bad. But like I said, I'm not the best colorist. I'm not a colorist. I'm not a professional colorist, but I can get colors to where they need to be for music videos. When I'm in a controlled scenario where I have different lighting in different places, and I'm able to, you know, change out those colors and post in color, I'm good at it. I can make it happen, but it's just not easy to do. So the colors that come out of the camera are butt. They're really bad. They're really bad. The speed booster is a negative, but a positive at the same time. It's extra money to be able to adapt other lenses. The Lumix lenses aren't bad, but the Metabone speed booster, it gives you a little bit more range, which in turn gives you a little bit more depth of field. So, I mean, it's a negative. It improves the camera's performance though, and it's just the extra $600. So, I mean, given the fact that Lumix lenses are god expensive anyways, I would definitely invest in a speed booster if I was using the GH5 or even thinking about getting a GH5. Like, every single Lumix lens that I have bought has cost over $1,000. Not to say that they don't have cheap ones that do good quality, but the most versatile ones cost a ton of money. Like that 12mm Leica lens that I bought, that 1.4 aperture one, $1,200. No, $1,400 I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on the price. It was over $1,000 though. And then I got the 12 to 35 2.8, which was another $1,000. And just to compare that to like other lenses that I use, like the 18 to 35, my primary lens that I use for a lot of things, that only costs like $700 right now. And my Sigma 35 f1.4 art lens cost around $900. That's like my favorite lens that I own. Like every other lens that I primarily use for music videos costs less than Lumix lenses. So if you're gonna be using or even thinking about using a GH5, I would heavily say invest in a speed booster. It just makes sense because you're gonna be paying a ton of money for these lenses that you're not gonna be able to adapt anywhere. If you buy Canon lenses, then you're able to use them on other cameras, Canon cameras. You can get adapters to put them on Sony. Like Canon lenses are like the most versatile lenses that you can purchase because it's adapters and it's different speed boosters and other things to adapt these lenses to other cameras. If you buy Lumix lenses, you're fully locked in. That's like the only camera that you can use it on. So the speed booster is like a vital thing in my personal opinion. But I guess you gotta add it to the negative. And another reason that I say that you shouldn't probably be investing in Lumix lenses anyways is because the GH5's autofocus is, but it sucks. It's really bad. Now, full disclosure, I haven't tried the new fix that they have for it, but that's because I don't have any Lumix lenses anymore, and I don't plan to use the autofocus anyways. I'm a manual focuser. I never use autofocus on music videos. It's just not ideal for what we do. So I never use autofocus anyways. If this was my primary YouTube camera, then autofocus would probably make a difference, but I don't really care too much about it. Autofocus it sucks though, so it's really no need in investing in Lumix lenses. I don't see the positive in investing thousands of dollars into Lumix lenses. The autofocus on them is bad. Hold on real quick, let me see what's going on. The autofocus is really bad, and they're just expensive for no reason. I feel the same way about Sony lenses though. I think Sony lenses are like super overkill. But overall, using the GH5, I like it a lot. It's cool for music videos. I'm able to be really creative with it, with the different features, the different variable frame rates, and I'm able to sacrifice the negatives over the positives, especially at the price point of it. It's not expensive. I think the GH5 is on sale for like $1,600 right now. So, I mean, $1,600 for what you get. This is like an amazing camera for the price. This is just an amazing camera for the price. I really like using the GH5 for music videos. All right, so let's hypothetically talk about the A7S III because that's probably gonna get announced soon at NAB. I'm thinking about going out there to see what they have going on, the Sony booth and stuff like that. Now my predictions for the Sony A7S III and what it will offer, I see Sony. I don't see Sony putting a swivel screen on the A7S III. I don't see that. I see Sony improving the autofocus from the A7S II. I see Sony implementing the new batteries that they have in like the A7R III. I see Sony improving the in-body image stabilization. I see Sony probably putting a little bit more megapixels into the A7S II. 4K 60 frames per second, probably. That's probably going to be like the selling feature for it. I don't see them putting 10-bit in there. I don't see them putting variable frame rates, obviously. But I think it'll be like a really light refresh. I don't see them going super far. Main reason being they have to protect their cinema line. They don't want to jeopardize people purchasing their cinema cameras with the features that they're going to be offering in the A7S II. So A7S III for me, nah, I don't plan on purchasing it. I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in any camera right now, to be completely honest with you. So I don't personally see myself leaving the GH5 anytime soon. But when I do plan on leaving the GH5, it's gonna be for a cinema camera. Reason being, I don't personally want to keep investing into these like little consumer cameras. They all pretty much do the same thing. We're at a point in time where pretty much every single camera that's coming out is good. Every camera has 4K. Every camera has slow motion. Every camera is sharp. Every camera is good. We're in a good space. We're in like the future of like cameras right now. So like this is fine for me. I don't see any camera that's gonna come out anytime soon that is gonna make me leave this to go to it in the consumer range for music videos anyways. If I do buy another camera, it's gonna be for creating YouTube videos. This is perfectly fine for me for music videos. I like this, but when I do leave this, it's gonna be for a cinema camera. Cinema camera is gonna be for like a C200 or like a Red Raven or something like that. You know what I mean? All these cameras are good. You know what I mean? We're at a space where everything's good. It's no bad camera coming out. You can say a camera's bad, but all these cameras are good. They all do good stuff. They all shoot 4K. They all have decent dynamic range. They all have decent slow motion. And in the right hands, any camera is viable to use. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's nothing that's gonna be in the A7S II that's gonna make me sell this and go buy it. The A7S III, I mean, that's gonna make me sell this and then go buy that. I think I'm over like buying like consumer cameras because you don't really see a noticeable difference in any of them. To my personal, what am I saying? I just had like the biggest brain fart. Personally speaking, I don't see a difference in any of them. Buying a new camera is not gonna really improve anything for you. If you have a new camera, you going from an A6500 to like a A7S II is not really gonna be a big difference unless you plan on doing low light stuff. And I mean, it's really all about finding the camera that's best for what you do. Now, if it's another consumer camera out there that's gonna do what you do better, then go for it. But I think the best thing to invest in right now is lighting, lenses, stabilizers, and just other equipment that's going to improve video production. Constantly buying new cameras is not really going to do too much for you. So with that being said, I don't personally see myself leaving the Lumix line for the Sony A7S III. I don't think that it's going to be anything in the Sony A7S III that's going to make me leave this. Doubt it. I'll probably test it out like I did with the A7R III. The A7R III is a really solid camera, but I don't see myself leaving Lumix for that. Now, in terms of cinema cameras that I've been looking into, cinema cameras that have caught my eye and been interesting, main one being the Canon C200. Now, the Canon C200 isn't the biggest workhorse in the world, but I feel like it's probably the best camera to suit what I want to do with it in terms of its abilities, what's going to come out of the camera, and what's to be expected. Now, really great autofocus. You guys know Canon does that really good colors. 4K, it has internal RAW, 120 frames per second, and everything is included in the package. I think when a lot of people think about REDs, they don't really take the time to sit and think about everything that you need to purchase to make a RED run, and the different things that you need to make a RED run throughout set. If that makes sense, you get a RED, you gotta You got to figure out your different batteries that you're gonna get. You gotta figure out your memory cards. They have really huge memory cards, the SSDs. They cost a lot of money. And if you're planning on doing run and gun sets all day, you're probably gonna have to, like, you know, pause in between sets to dump footage, get memory cards right again, and then the batteries are kind of expensive. It's just a lot of stuff that goes into a red. So it's like, reds are cool, don't get me wrong, they're really dope, but I think they're more so better for controlled environments, whereas I see a C200 will probably better suit me and what I do for my primary work. So between that, it'll probably be like a Red Raven or like a Canon C200. I think that those are really interesting cinema cameras for me, if that makes sense. So yeah, man, I mean, to sum all of this up, I really like using the GH5. I don't see myself leaving the GH5 anytime soon. It has its negatives, it has its cons, but every camera does, man. But at the same time, every camera's good. It's more so just about finding a camera that does what you need it to do best, and a camera that you actually enjoy using. It doesn't matter how good a camera is. If you don't enjoy using it, then it's gonna be a fail on your part. You know what I mean? You gotta get something that you need. You gotta get something that you actually enjoy using. So yeah. All right. So that's my wrap up on a GH5. GH5 is an amazing camera. I don't see myself leaving it anytime soon. It's just a solid camera, and I like using it. So yeah, that's it. So let's just dive into the Q&A section real quick. I'm gonna, you know, pick up the live stream real quick and answer questions that you guys have. Take a trip out to the Okinawa. Take a trip out to Japan. That would be dope. The 1DX Mark II. The 1DX Mark II is a dope camera. 1DX is a dope camera. I think one of the worst things about the 1DX is it lacks like simple cinematography features like focus peaking and zebras and stuff like that. Stuff that I find vital for filming like music videos. So for me, that's why like the 1DX would be a no for me, but that's not to say that it's a bad camera. I had got some advice to shoot off footage even performances at 60. I mean, you can do that. I think the biggest negative about doing that is typically consumer cameras don't offer 60 frames per second at the highest possible resolution. So you could probably do that, but you're just gonna come out with a 1080 video. Not to say that that's bad, but if you have a performance that you know for a fact that you're not gonna want to slow down, why not just film it in 4K to get that extra quality out of it? Healthy drink tonight. I always try to drink healthy drinks. Always, I try. Now, the 1DX is a dope camera. I think that the fact that the 1DX doesn't have like simple cinematography features like focus peaking and zebras and stuff like that is probably the biggest downfall of it for my professional field. Anyways, it would be amazing to do photography and just create these YouTube videos, but I don't think I would want to use a 1DX for a music video. The A7R III of the GH5. I think that's something that you got to look into. I can't really say. They're both good cameras. Like I said, we're in a day and age when every camera is good. It's more so just going to be the camera that you prefer using. It's just going to be the camera that you prefer using. That just is what it is. All these cameras are good. It's just whatever one you want to use, you know? The 1DX is dope. I've used the 1DX multiple times. My brother uses one. I shot the Vegas video on the A7R III. The cheap indie filters. Yo, don't buy cheap indie filters. The main reason that you don't want to buy a cheap indie filter is like really cheap ones. They cast tints over your footage. So you could shoot footage, and if the indie filter is cheap, it'll probably put a blue cast over all your footage. Is the live stream graded? Nah, the live stream is shot on my 6D. And it's just on a standard profile. I got a light right here. I got my 120D right here in front of me. Key light source right here. And then I got my little aperture light right here. Let me bring this over so y'all can see it. I got my little aperture light right here on the desk. So it's just lighting this side of my face. CPU specs for lag-free editing with Adobe. Honestly, to be completely honest with you, I don't know too much of anything about computers. The GH5's photography is, it's meh. I wouldn't say it's the best. I use TIFF and ND filters. The GlideCam XR Pro, I've never used it. My ISO that I'm on my 6D right now is like 200. It's not streaming full quality. It's probably a little bit clear to y'all, but it looks a lot better on my OBS than it does on YouTube. So that's just the compression that's gonna have to go through the live stream. What lights do I use? I use tons of lights. I use aperture primarily, 120D. I'm gonna be doing a video specifically on lighting really soon. Primes or zooms? Definitely primes for me, but I guess it depends on how versatile you need to be. Not versatile. Yeah, versatile. That's definitely the word I'm looking for. Is the 6500 worth buying? The 6500 is a solid camera. I got enough for the Ronin M. Should I get that or the Crane 2 for music videos? I mean, they're both good. They're both really good gimbals. I wouldn't say that the Ronin is better than the Crane 2. I prefer it because that's just what I've been using, but that's not because it's better. Drama Fields, appreciate you, bro. I tried using a shoulder rig based on your recommendations. Didn't work out well. Why didn't you? You didn't enjoy using the shoulder rig? I've been loving using the shoulder rig, bro. Like, loving it. I haven't used my Ronin in so long, but I mean, I'm planning on getting back to using it. I just haven't used it in a while. The Mavic Air, the Mavic Pro. The Mavic Air doesn't have like pro picture profiles, but I mean, if you can get past that, I would say get the Mavic Air. Should I buy a cheap adapter to use Canon lenses on the G7? No, I would say get a speed booster just so you can get the extra range. You think aperture needs to cater to photographers? Tell them, tweet them. Thoughts about the Ronin S? I mean, I don't really know too much about it. I'm going to shoot a fitness commercial with the lenses you recommend me. Get some primes. Get a really close prime and then get a semi-close prime. I would say use like a 35mm and like a 50mm. You could shoot a really dope fitness video. If you had to reincarnate as an animal, what would it be? Probably like a saber-toothed tiger or something. They look fierce. I think they look dope. The Ronin or the Crane 2? It depends. It depends on what you're into. I think that they're both good gimbals. For music videos, I'm still gonna use my Ronin just because that's what I'm used to using, not because that's a better gimbal. I haven't heard of the Canon TV Argo gimbal. What do you mean the Mavic Air doesn't have profiles? It doesn't have log on it. It doesn't have like a log picture profile. Should I trash my G85? No, use it. What's wrong with your G85? I use TIFF and ND filters. Wireless audio or wired? Depends. Is 4K overrated? Nah, I want to say 4K is overrated. Sometimes you don't need 4K though. I guess it depends on what you're doing. Like I don't think I need 4K video. I mean, I don't think I need 4K for these YouTube videos. I think that's a little bit overkill. For the Vegas video, I use the Sony 28mm f2.0. What's the next light you would get? Another 120D. Honestly, I have enough 120Ds. I got 2 of them. The next light that I'll probably get will probably be something stylistic like Quasar Science 2s, something like that. I think I'm covered on a lot of bases for general lighting. I haven't tried the DEC lens regain. I haven't tried that. Do you get a lot of new clients since you started YouTube? I get a lot more inquiries since I've started YouTube. Not a lot of people who are gonna follow through. It's the same with me as everybody else. Everybody gets those people who email them asking how much they charge, and then they never follow through with anything. So don't feel discouraged about it. I get a lot more inquiries, I would say. Not that I get more clients. The 18 to 35 works well with the Ronin, yes. Suggestions for stabilizers for cameras without in-body stabilization. Get the Crane 2. The Crane 2 is a dope gimbal. Orange skin tones. What about them? What about orange skin tones? My skin looks orange. Is that what you're saying? The GH5S looks like a solid camera. I'm not interested in it just because I don't really care too much about the low light capabilities. I think I'm fine with what I have. What picture profile do you shoot your filters / Black Pro Mist with? I use log for pretty much everything. I got that unboxing knife for you, bro. Hey, you gotta send that to me, bro. I need that. The Ronin S looks like a dope. It looks like a dope gimbal. I mean, I'm not interested in it. It looks cool though. I've never used Rokinon lenses. Do I shoot anything other than music videos? Just YouTube videos, that's it, and music videos. Got a 5D Mark IV with a 35 1.4. Should I sell and cop a cheaper camera so I can buy a 120D? Nah, just hustle your money up. Just hustle your money up. If you're doing video though and not photography, you could sell it and get a 6500 and then buy a 120D. I mean, I don't think that would be a bad idea. If you don't got 600 for a 120D, what good light would you get? I got an LED panel set that comes with 2 LED panels for like $450. I think that's one of like the best. That's like the best value that you can get in terms of lighting. My bad. Let me scroll back through. How did you go about raising your prices as time goes on? Just increase your price gradually. Don't just try to double it one day. Maybe just tag on an extra 50 here and there, extra 100, and before you know it, you'll be where you want to be. How did you afford all your gear when you started filmmaking? I went to school, so I used to take out like student loans, and I would take the remaining money that I would get back on like financial aid checks and spend that on gear. The best slider, I use a Rhino Evo. I wouldn't say it's the best, but I don't know. I haven't tried many sliders. I think it's really good though. Do you allow your artists to tell you how to edit? Nah, never. To drink or not to drink? Hell yeah, bro. You gotta, might as well. It looks like the stream froze. Did it freeze? Or is it just frozen on my end? Oh, there we go. Have I ever shot a whole music video with a shoulder rig? Yes, definitely. I shot the last music video I put out, the whole video with a shoulder rig. How do you deal with heavy clients? What does that mean, heavy? like big clients? Is that what that means? I've read the 120D is hit or miss when buying. Do you use this? Yes. What hit or miss? Nah, the 120D is an amazing light. It's no missing at all. It's a fire light. It's a firelight. I promise. Yes, the 120D is worth getting. Yes, like Big Mama. Yo, y'all wild. What do you do when everybody wants a free rap video? Tell them no. The 2 LED panels, they're from Fovatech. Hold on. Fovatech. I think that's how you spell it. I don't know. Don't quote me. It might be. But they're S600D. I think that's what they are. I think. Thoughts on Matt Como's videos? Matt Como's dope as hell. Matt Como's fire. What are your goals for this year? My goals for this year? Just keep winning, man. Just keep winning. That's all I want to do is keep winning. Do you make more off of YouTube or shooting music videos? I don't really make a lot of money off of YouTube, to be completely honest with you. I make a couple $100 a month. Like, to put it into comparison, I don't make enough money on YouTube to pay my rent. So it's not that much money. Why do I like shoulder rigs? I like shoulder rigs because they're easy to use, and like gimbals are like mad excessive. They're versatile. You can just pick them up and take them into little spaces and take them into big spaces, and you got to follow focus on the side of it, so you're hitting your focus every time. And I also like the feeling that the movement of the footage gives you. It's a lot more realistic, and I don't know. I just like the feeling of it. It's like when you watch like modern film and modern TV shows nowadays, and I mean just in general, not even just nowadays, but you realize how situational based like steady cams and gimbals are, and then you take a seat and then you just look at like modern day YouTube content creation and videos, and then you see how overused gimbals are. It just kind of makes you sit down and think about it, like, damn, I don't always need to use a gimbal. They really only use gimbals when they're called for, when the shot calls for that feeling and that motion. But people use gimbals for everything. Not to say that it's a bad thing, but it's so different from the professional things that you see. I don't know, if you just sit and the next movie you look at, just sit and analyze it, and analyze the different equipment that they're using for it. Most of the time it's a tripod, a dolly, or a shoulder rig. It's very rare that steady cams are used for the majority of shots. A lot of the stuff is actually like tripod and dolly stuff. So I don't know. I don't not like gimbals. Gimbals are really cool, but I don't feel like you should use a gimbal for everything. So, you know, not to say that I don't even make TV shows, but that's just something that I threw out there to put that into perspective. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's no rules. It's no rules. You can really do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Who do I live with? I live with me, my son, and my girlfriend. What do you do when you burn out on creating? I take a break. I think that's one of the best things to do. A lot of people just work all day, every day, and that's not. I wouldn't say that's the best thing to do. Just take a break. Go play a game. Go watch a TV show. Go play basketball. Okay, what did I miss? You going back to Canon? Nah, I'm not going back to Canon, bro. Top music video directors I look up to. I look at a lot of music videos and I get inspired. But Matt Alonso, Colin Tilley, Mike Ho, Jacob Owens. It's a ton, man. Hyro Murray, it's a bunch. I look up to a lot of music video directors. How old is my son? My son is now 4. If I have no experience at all, what camera should I start out with shooting music videos? Whatever camera you have access to. I haven't seen Black Panther yet. On the gimbal, autofocus, or manual, it depends on how good your autofocus is. If you're using Canon, you could probably get away with it, but it's all going to depend on how fast you're moving anyways. Any director tips? Biggest tip that I can give you to be a better director is to shoot as much as possible. My favorite director, for music videos, is probably Colin Tilley or Hyro Murray. Thoughts on Kendrick Lamar's music videos? Kendrick has been killing it lately. Y'all know what though? Dave Myers and Kendrick, they've been killing it the whole damn album run through the Black Panther run. Kendrick is slowly becoming an icon. But right now though, the newest music video that I'm rocking with hard is the Trippie Redd. Got one of the hardest music videos right now. That Trippie Redd and Travis Scott video is crazy. When are you coming to Los Angeles for a meetup? I would like to soon. Where do you find non-copyright music for videos? If you hit the link in the description, in all of my video descriptions, all the way at the bottom, it's a link to Epidemic Sound that I use for music videos. So not music videos, for YouTube videos, my bad. So yeah, hit that link. Best time to use autofocus versus manual. I never use autofocus for music videos, to be completely honest with you. Like never. Like I never use autofocus for music videos. It's just super unreliable. What's your live stream setup? Like how do you have your camera connected to your computer? Hold on real quick. Let me show y'all what I got. Alright, so I don't know if y'all are familiar with like Elgato. Elgato produces like equipment to stream video games to like Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. But this is a cam link. I don't know why I'm putting it right here. This is a cam link, and it's a USB device that you just plug straight into your computer. And then it has an HDMI port on the other side of it. So then you run the HDMI port from the other side of this straight into your camera, and then it just streams what's coming straight out of your camera. You can use it with pretty much any camera. So if I wanted to put my GH5 on here, I can do that as well. And then it just streams the live feed. So you turn all your information off on your screen, everything that shows like your ISO. Like, so for instance, if I push that on my camera, you can see that it comes through and y'all can see what's actually going on. But you just turn off all the information on your screen, and then it just streams a live feed. It's not even really recording from the camera. It's just streaming what's coming from the camera into the actual stream. So this is dope. It's actually really simple and easy to use as well. So yeah, it's called a cam link. It's dope as hell. You can use it for pretty much any camera. It's dope. Like it. And then the blue lights that you see are from LifeX. They're bulbs and they're Wi-Fi enabled. So I got an app on my phone that controls the lights. So if I wanted the lights to go all the way down, you can see it's no light back there now. And then if I wanted to come back in, I can adjust the intensity, but I can also adjust the color as well. So if I wanted to go to purple, now we got purple lights. Or if I wanted to go to light blue or green, like the last stream was green, so we got green, or we can do yellow, but we can also do Kelvin temperatures as well. So we got a full wheel right here with Kelvin temperatures. So we can do 2500 Kelvin, which is ultra warm, but we can also go to 5500 Kelvin, which is daylight. Or we can go all the way up to 9000 Kelvin, which is like an ice blue tone. So these lights are really dope. I use these in pretty much every single room in my house. So these are fire. These are like in every single room in my house, and they're Wi-Fi enabled. So if I'm upstairs in the bed and I want to turn off the lights in the house, I just hit that button, the lights in the office turn off. Or if I want to turn on the lights in the living room, I can do that, stuff like that. So that's the live stream setup. Can I get a giveaway from you? What do you want? What do you want me to give away to you? The lights are called LifeX. LifeX. I'll put it in the chat. Those are the bulbs. What are your bitrate settings? It kind of stutters and drops frames. I don't know anything about this, bro, to be completely honest with you. This live stream quality could probably be 10 times better, but I don't know anything about bit rates and streaming, and I don't know nothing about that, to be completely honest with you. I just plugged it in and just did it. Michael Pierce, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Where do you have the LifeX lights placed? They're in like lamps. I got lamps in the office, and you just put the bulbs in it. Pretty much any lamp, anything that you can put a light bulb in, you just put a LifeX bulb in. Is there a way to fix the rolling shutter on a 6500? Just don't whip the camera around as much as I guess. S-Log or V-Log for color grading. I like S-Log better, but V-Log does the job with the Lumix line. Should I overexpose my S-Log footage? Definitely. Do it by like 2 stops if you can. How long did it take you to get where you're at right now? Well, I started doing video in like 2010, so I guess this is like 8 years in the making. Thank you, YC. You've been a lot of help since I've started filming. I'm working with Tyler Casey and Hash 86 here in California. That's dope, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate you for checking out the content. How did you link up with T Crooks? He's a rapper from where I'm from, and all the visuals you've done for him are so amazing. I actually been working with T Crooks for a little while now. T Crooks just hit me up. He was just like, yo, let's do a video. And the first video that we did was like probably like 2014 or something. And we just been working ever since then. What mic am I using? This microphone is a Blue Yeti. And this is like you can get these for like $100, I think, at like Best Buy. And I really just got this to do like tutorials for the channel. The GH5 is definitely still worth buying. How heavy is this IM crane 2 with the dual grip compared to the Ronin M? It's definitely lighter than the Ronin. Did you hear the GH5 autofocus fix? Yeah, I saw it. I'm not really interested in using autofocus on my GH5 though, to be completely honest with you. Can you sell the GH5 to me? Your biggest fan. I'm using a poor camera here in South Africa. You want me to sell you my camera? That's crazy. For video cinematography, which camera is best all time in your opinion? It's no best camera. It's really all about what you want to use. The videos are really inspiring. I want to thank you because you've helped me a lot. Thank you. Thank you for even wanting to watch my videos. Definitely the Crane V2 over the Moza Air. For me personally, I like the Crane V2. Your videos are crazy. I want more than more video. You want more videos? I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Would you ever come back down to the Hampton Roads ever? Yeah, definitely. I'll probably be down there soon. I'm in the talks with T Crooks right now about an upcoming music video, so probably soon. How to get good at manual focusing seems hard. It's tools on a lot of cameras to help you. Just utilize like focus peaking. Focus peaking is like vital for me. Like it helps me when I'm shooting blind. Like if I'm like when I'm using a gimbal, when I have focus peaking on the camera, I can kind of sort of see what's in focus. So focus peaking is like vital. Would you suggest offering free videos if business is slow? Yeah, but do free videos for people and artists that you actually want to do, who actually do stuff that you want to do, if that makes sense. What inspires me? I get inspired by a lot of things. TV shows, movies, fashion. I get inspired by everything. Do you think the music video business is worth it? Where do you see yourself going? I mean, anything that you want to do is worth it. If you like doing music videos, man, do it. Do it. It's, I don't know, man. It's like you got gaming streamers that are making 6 figures from playing a video game. Back in the day when we used to play games all damn day, our moms would look at us crazy as hell. You know what I mean? It's like, who would have thought that you could stream yourself playing a video game and make 6 figures doing that? I wouldn't say it's the best lens. The 62 with an 80D. I don't know, man. I like the 62. A lot of people don't like the 62, but I like it. I enjoy using it. So I mean, it's hard. It's really hard for me to recommend a camera. What are my average prices? I wouldn't say I have an average price. Pricing really varies and depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm just going to a couple alleyways and shooting a freestyle video like the one I just dropped, but sometimes I'm traveling all the way to Atlanta, and I'm in a studio for 5 hours and I got 4 people on a crew and I gotta do lighting and rent beds and rent cars and get models. It's so different, man. It's different. It's not really an average price for anything. It's so different. I can't even stress it to you. It's so different, man. Sometimes we might go downstairs in my basement and shoot a video like I did for Keys. So it's all over the place, man. $500 monitor or lights? Definitely a light. The GH5 or the A7S? It depends, man. It depends. Julio Vision is just laughing. The stream must be hilarious. No questions today. Just wanted to salute good brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. My favorite movie? I got a few favorite movies. One of my favorite movies though is Inception. I'm like the biggest Leonardo DiCaprio fan in the world. I think that everything he touches is golden. I feel the same way about Will Smith though. Will Smith and like Leonardo DiCaprio are 2 of my favorite actors. So I know when I see them in a movie that it's probably gonna be fire because they don't really take on bad roles most of the time. So Those two dudes, some of my favorites, man. Don't know if your house came with a garage, but do you ever thought of converting it into a studio for music videos? Yeah, we use my garage for like photography right now, because my girlfriend does photography, so we got like a full-fledged backdrop setup and all that stuff in there. But yeah, man, maybe something in the future. You inspire me, man. Thank you, appreciate that. Would I ever buy red? Yeah, probably so. Crush Nick, what up, bro? Anthony, appreciate you, man. Shutter Island, holy snaps. Shutter Island is a fire ass movie, yo. I forgot all about Shutter Island. Shutter Island is dope as hell. When did you get the Xiaomi Crane? Oh, and also, do you ask your friends to help you? Yes, I always ask my friends to help me when I need help. Not even just my director friends. I got artist friends I ask for help. Like, I needed Ace Haven and Keys to plan a part for a music video for me. I hit him up. It came through. My homie Wills, he does music. I hit him up and say, bro, I need a mic for a video. He's like, all right, I got you. I call Tino. I say, bro, I need help. I need you to help me do lighting. I need you to come, you know, analyze what's going on set. Come through. Always ask your friends, man, regardless of if they're interested in video production or whatever. If they're your friends, they should help you. What music is playing right now? This music is from Epidemic Sound. I'm using the Zoom H5, not for this live stream, but I use a Zoom H5 for my YouTube videos. This mic right here is a Blue Yeti though. If you want a link to Epidemic Sound, in every description in all of my videos, all the way at the bottom, it's like list of music, but it's a link right there that you can sign up for free for Epidemic Sound. Do you like the way JR Ali films? Is he the guy who does like the travel videos with like the whooshes and zooms and all that stuff? I think that's the same. I think that's him. If so, yeah, his stuff's dope. What lens would I recommend? Get something wide. What am I using for this live stream? I'm using my Canon 6D for the live stream. I'm streaming on my i6D too. My favorite photographer. I'm not super into photography. I don't know too many photographers, to be completely honest with you. So yeah. Yeah, I've definitely had an artist who disliked my edits, but it's more so just them wanting something edited in the video and not them disliking the entire edit. So yeah, I mean, I do edits all the time. I think it's good to note that not everybody's gonna like everything that you do. So I just keep that in mind when you're doing video production. You might think something is super fire, but an artist and a musician probably won't feel the same way about that. What am I drinking? Is it an energy drink? Nah, this is just a organic drink. I drink these every day in the morning. This is like breakfast for me, but this is a drink from Whole Foods, has different ingredients in it. This one just has strawberries, watermelon, and lime, and that's it. It's just organic juice, that's all. When did you start realizing you wanted to become a cinematographer? Probably like the first music video I made. Please talk about taxes. What do you want to talk about taxes? I think it would be like really irresponsible for me to give you any legal tax suggestions. I'm not super educated in that field. I just record everything that I buy and everything that I sell. Check out the cinematography for this film called. I'll have to check that out, definitely. When did you start YouTube? Was it a struggle? When you say struggle, like what do you mean by that? Like what does that mean? I think everything's a struggle when you start. Everything is a struggle, man. Everything is a building process. Nothing is like instantaneous. I don't know too much about that. I shot my first industry artist and they wanted heavy, trendy effects. I don't really want to be in that lane. Damn, that's lame, yo. That sucks. Only tax not now give is save for taxes. And hire CPA. Yeah, I think that would be really irresponsible for me to give y'all tax information or tax suggestions. But one tax suggestion that I would give you guys is an app called QuickBooks Self-Employed. That application saves me only because I don't deal cash, but you can record business income, business expenses. You can record where you drive. You can record what you pay in gas for food on a trip or whatever. QuickBooks Self-Employed is a really good application to record expenses and income. How do you let clients view their video if they haven't paid full price yet? Really good question. What I do, how do I do that? I haven't worked with a new client in a while, but what you can do is you can watermark the video. Just put your logo over it in the center or something. What do you do when you're not satisfied with the final output of your video because you undershot? Just put it out and move on to the next one. The biggest thing that you can do to learn is to fail or mess up. If you know for a fact that you undershot this time, you'll know for a fact next time to not undershoot. You just got to get it out, though. You can't really dwell on it. Just get it out, get it over with, and move on to the next project. Who do you prefer for camera insurance? This is probably not the way to go, but I don't have camera insurance at the moment. What do I do in my free time? I play a lot of video games and I watch a lot of TV shows and movies. What was your first camera that you used? I used the Canon T2i. That was like my first camera for my photography and my video work. What is the minimum amount of money worth time? That's up to you to value. Sometimes you do stuff for no money at all because you enjoy the process of it, or you feel like the overall outcome of it will value more than the money that you can receive at that particular time. How do you get your video so sharp with the 6300 with no noise? That's like one of the weirdest questions that people ask. It's because it's not like I'm doing anything special that I can tell you or directly suggest to you. I don't know. I just shoot. I think lighting stuff the best is gonna help you with that. Staying at low ISOs, making sure you hit your focus is gonna help with that. Making sure you export right. It's tons of different factors that are gonna factor into the outcome of your video. What would you prefer for low light photo shoots? What is the ideal settings? I wouldn't say it's a low light setting. I think the main goal is to stay as low as you can in ISO. What video games do I play? I play for like a lot of first person shooters, but I also play like RPGs. Like I love Zeldas and Tomb Raiders and Call of Duties and Destinies, and I also like fighting games too, though. I like Mortal Kombat, and I don't know. I like a lot of video games, to be completely honest with you. The mini dome or the large light dome for 120D. It depends on what you're doing. I'm using the mini. I use the mini in my office because it's small, obviously. But I like the fall off from the actual big light dome better. I like how it feels a little bit more softer than the mini. Who's my favorite YouTuber? My favorite YouTuber, from a standpoint of being a genuine YouTuber and not primarily doing other things, is probably Jesse. I like Jesse a lot. I like Jesse's sense of fashion. I like the way he puts together his videos. I like his sense of humor. Like, Jesse is probably my favorite YouTuber. But I watch a lot of people on YouTube though for different things. I watch Scump for gaming. I watch Casey Neistat and Peter for entertainment and informational and stuff like that. But you got people who review gear really well, like DSLR video shooter, and like Max Urez. I don't know. He's probably gonna fry me for not saying his name right. I don't know how to say it, but I watch a ton of people on YouTube. But Jesse though, I like Jesse, yo. I think Jesse's really fashionable. I like the way he puts together his videos. I like his perspective and point of views on different things. Jesse's dope as hell to me. I like Jesse a lot. So I do fashion photography, and I'm looking for a new wide angle lens. I can't decide. It's 24 to 35. I have a 35, but it's for crop frame cameras. I need something wider. Well, you should probably get a 24 then. How old am I? I'm 26 years old. Should I invest in a Sony FE24 to 72.8? I think that's up to you to decide. I think the 24 to 70 is a good lens. It's not a bad lens. Do you do documentary style work? I haven't. I would like to though. Which fam artists you want to make music videos? I honestly do not understand that. This is supposed to be about the GH5. I ask a question on it. It gets ignored because some of you dumb questions you can get on YouTube. What do you want me to answer? What's up? Young boy? I'm young? Am I young? Damn, I thought I feel old. Am I young? I feel old. I feel like I'm a little old. Using lighting indoors for nighttime music videos. How do you do it? And lighting is a very wide subject. There's so many different ways you can light. What did you do in that music video which had the green key light with the orange highlights to make it look more colorful in post? Because the video looked nothing like the vlog. I think that's all the time though. The vlog is just filming whatever, you know what I mean? But the music video is always gonna look different than the vlog, more so because we put different LUTs on it. Like if we put the same color on the music video that we did on the vlog, it would probably look similar. You also got to take into account that we're using different cameras for BTS and actual music video, so that's gonna also account to it. But I mean, a simple for the secrets video that we did with the orange and green shot, one thing that I did that was very different from my typical workflow is I put Cosmo in that shot. And Cosmo is a red giant plugin to smooth out skin. I had a lot of close-up shots of the female, and the way we lit it, the contrast was heavy, and it was like just really sharp on her skin, and then you could just see her imperfections like on those close-up shots. So I put Cosmo on all of those shots, and it smoothed out T-Crook's skin, and it smoothed out her skin, and just made it look a little bit more pleasing to the eye. But in terms of color, we just boosted up the vibrancy, saturation, nothing too crazy. Like we didn't put like a LUT on there or anything. We already lit the scene with the color, so it was more so us just making that pop. Yeah, you should definitely get a speed booster for your GH5. Like definitely. Am I using 3D Light Creator to color grade? Yeah, I am. I use it. How did I get my first clients? Well, I used to shoot music videos for my brother. He's a musician, but he had a lot of other musician friends, or musician competitors, I should say, and they just reached out to me for music videos. So that was a lot of my first clients. Were just musicians around the city that I lived in. Yeah, I only use manual focus. Filming at night is equal effort from lighting and lens choice. Any tips how to shoot for grading? I struggle with grading sometimes, wish I shot warmer or colder at times. It's just thinking about how you want to color and post, or just shooting as neutral as possible, so you know for a fact that you have the opportunity to change that color and post if you wanted to. Do I still use S-Log2 for Sony cameras? I don't have a Sony camera that I use. When I use the A7R III, I use Cine 4 just because it was just going to be an easier grade. My go-to focal length for music videos is 35 millimeters. What was the worst music video experience you ever had? My worst music video experience I've ever had was Creative Ron and I were shooting this video for these artists. But these artists, they were they also were like in the army, so they had a lot of firearms, and of course, they wanted to flex their guns and stuff like that. So we were shooting a video in the artist's backyard, well, one of the artist's friends' backyard, and their backyard is like connected. It's like a fence in between their backyard and like the alleyway. So it was like a full alleyway behind the houses. but it connected from a fence. So we were on the other side of the fence. We were just in the alleyway just filming. We had lights out there. We had dogs and pit bulls and chains. It just looked like a really cool ass gritty video. But it was like probably like 8 people out there, and all of them had like 2 guns. Like 2 people, like somebody have a shotgun, and then somebody have an assault rifle, and then other people had like 2 guns. But all these guns were like registered firearms because all of these people were in the army. But obviously people who were going to be spectating the actual video weren't going to know that. So I guess one of the neighbors called the police and said that they saw a bunch of guys in the backyard with guns or whatever. So we're shooting the scene, and then a police officer comes up the back of the alleyway, and he has like a canine with him. So we just walking up the alley, I guess, to see what's going on. So the alleyway had a slight curve on it. It wasn't like a straightaway. It was like kind of like a slight curve. So he walks around the curve, and all he sees is like all these black dudes with like guns. It's like 8 of them, and everybody got like 2 assault rifles, and they just bouncing around doing crazy stuff. So the officer flips out, pulls his gun out on us, drew his gun on us. Dog's barking crazy as hell, drew his gun on us like, yo, get the fuck on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. So he's like we shocked him. Like he didn't know what the hell he was walking into, and he just saw this guy with all his guns, so he got like kind of shook. So he drew his gun on us, and he was like screaming, like he was like mad frantic. I thought he was about to shoot one of us, no BS, yo. But he drew his gun on us, and he laid the whole shoot down, put everybody on their stomach, took guns from everybody, and then the whole damn police unit came down there. I swear to God, it was like 30-40 cops down there. They put the whole shoot on the ground. They took all our cameras, they took all our memory cards, and we just sat there until they ran all the guns. And then they ran all the guns, and everybody was good, and then they just had to leave, and then we went back to shooting the music video. So it was just like it was so bizarre, yo, because we went from like an instant where we were damn near about to get shot to like the police like, you know what, I'm sorry, my bad. And then they just gave everybody their guns back, and all the police officers got back in their car and turned around and went back to the police station. So it was crazy as hell. But that was, I wouldn't say that was my worst, but that was my most interesting music video experience for sure. For sure, definitely. I used Cosmo for that one music video. I don't use it on a regular. I actually just downloaded the trial version to use it for that video. I don't even own like Red Giant or Magic Bullet or anything like that. Which memory card you would prefer to use all time? I use SanDisk. That blue gel looks dope. It's actually just some bulbs in my office. Did I get shot? Yeah, I actually have been shot before as well, which is kind of crazy. Actually, I don't know. It's probably not gonna come through the camera that well, but like right here on my arm, yeah, I can see like these 2 scars right here on my arm. I've been shot. I got shot before. So I got shot. A bullet came in this scar right here, and then it came out of this scar right here. It's like came in and out. It's crazy as hell. But yeah, I actually got shot before, and it was just randomly too. It was like it just happened. I just happened to be out, and then some dudes was just out doing some crazy stuff fighting, and I just got shot. That's just what happens. Do you have dreams of getting a red? A red would be cool. Ain't you say C. Ryan got you shot? C. Ryan didn't get me shot, but C. Ryan was the reason I was out that night. The reason we was out was because C. Ryan was having a birthday party, and we had like a lot of friends in town, and we decided to hit the strip where I live, where you know, where just everybody just be at. It's just a strip. You can go to bar. It's bar runs. It's food. It's just a strip. It's just where everybody goes. So we just up there kicking it. It's just a normal night for us. And then, you know, 2 dudes, they talking, whatever, you know. Altercations happen all the time. It's nothing new, especially when you're around drunk people. But, I mean, just in my city alone, you know, certain people don't like certain people. So certain people are going to fight certain people. That's just normal, you know. And, you know, so they was getting a fight in. Everybody just walked over there to see what the hell was going on. You know, I'm just chilling. At the time, I'm just kicking it. I'm sending off a text. You know what I mean? I'm seeing what the hell going on. And then shots go off. But I mean, that's nothing new either. Like, I'm sure everybody's been around, like probably not everybody. I don't want to make this seem like the norm, but people get into altercations, people shoot. Now, where I'm from, people don't shoot at each other, just to be completely honest with you. That's just very rare. You might hear some gunshots go off, some, you know, people shoot in the air just trying to diffuse situations and stuff like that. So people shooting, you don't think nothing of it. But the bullet came through my arm and came out right here, but it grazed me right here. But that was like the only reason that I knew I had got shot, because my arm was burning right here. So I looked down at my arm, and then my whole arm is just like leaking like hell. So crazy, man, crazy. But just being out enjoying the night. Who is currently editing your music videos now? I'm editing my music videos right now. How did me and Ryan meet? C. Ryan was friends with my brother. They were both musicians, and I used to shoot C. Ryan's music videos. Do you have a desire to create content for companies like Netflix, Hulu? Not really. Not really. How long ago was this? I was like some years ago now. Some years ago. Is the 51.2 a huge difference from the 1.4? I don't know, honestly, to be completely honest with you. Honestly, have no clue. How did you become interested in filmmaking? Just shooting music videos. I wouldn't say I'm interested in filmmaking now. I just shoot music videos and make YouTube videos. I don't create films. The G7X2 best vlogging camera on a budget? Maybe. Who is one of your dream clients? I would love to shoot a music video for Travis Scott or like Cole or Kendrick. I haven't heard anything about the Canon M50. I'll have to look into that. Vegas was dope though. I really enjoyed Vegas. It's my second time being out there. Did shooting take away from enjoying the trip? Nah, I mean, honestly, I didn't film that much in Vegas. I didn't even think I had a video. But a fun fact about the Vegas video is I was in Vegas for more than a day. I just made it seem like a day in the edit, just because I lacked footage. So I was definitely in Vegas for more than a day. That was just a front for the video, but don't tell nobody. Do you let the client tell you how you want their video ideas? It's like a 50-50 thing. Can we get a 2018 studio tour? I shot a lot of stuff for my desk tour, but I just never put it out. Thoughts on Cole Bennett? Cole Bennett's cool. Yeah, I didn't film that much in Vegas though, to be completely honest. This is just me pulling my camera out here and there, filming a little bit of things that we did. All right, we're getting a cupcake. All right, cool. Let me film you at the cupcake spot. Or we at the fountains. Let me film the fountains. Or all right, we in an Uber going to the next spot. Let me film out the window. Like it really wasn't a lot of filming that I did. The storytelling and the overall concept of the Vegas trip made it seem like it was a lot, but it was a lot of stuff that I didn't film, to be completely honest. Now, when I used Filmic Pro, I just filmed it on the regular one. Yeah, I did the voiceover in post. I went through all of my footage that I had. I figured out how I was gonna compose the footage and make it look like it was in a day. I put all the daytime shots next to each other. Then I put all the nighttime shots next to each other. And then I saw everything I had, and I thought about how I was gonna make it seem like I was only in Vegas for a day. And then I saw the footage. I saw the places that we went, and then I just set it. And then I just put it over the edit. Nah, I'm not leaving Lumix. I'm not leaving Lumix. I would love to see you shooting a wedding one day. I've shot weddings for family before, but they weren't that great. How did you get over the fear of meeting clients, expectations on a shoot, even if you're confident in your abilities? You never get over it. You never get over it. Like when the last Sequix video I shot, it was pretty hectic, because I've never really been in that studio scenario where I was like head director and I had to figure everything out and I had to make everything work within that 5-hour time frame. So it was hectic. And then we had he was late, the bed was late. I had to figure out light and air. It wasn't me going there prior to a day before. It was like, all right, we're done with this lighting setup. Cool, Cotton, come on, like we gotta set this different lighting setup up. Or all right, we gotta move this bed out the scene. All right, we need you here, model. All right, we need you. Like it was hectic, yo, and it was probably one of the most stressful shoots that I've been on. But it was also one of the most enjoyable shoots that I've ever been on. To have everybody work in cohesion and make things happen. It worked, and honestly, I didn't even get through half of the shots that I had on my shot list for that music video. What size memory cards do I bring to shoots? I have like 4 128 gigabyte SD cards. Does creating content for vlogs ever ruin trying to enjoy yourself? Sometimes, but I don't vlog that often. I try to keep it to a minimum and actually make it work. Do you prefer shooting music videos in the studio or street? They're both cool. They're both cool. I think that you can make them both look cool. Damn, I was supposed to get up out of here like 20 minutes ago. So look, I'm gonna run a Q&A for like 10 more minutes and then I'm gonna get out of here because your boy's got something else to do, to be completely honest with y'all. So if you got any questions, get them in there right now. Should you upgrade the 6500 to the A7R III? I guess it depends on what you need in a camera. If you value full frame, that would probably be a good upgrade for you. And I'm sure the photography is better as well. Sure, the photography is better. Chris Cheek, what's up? What's up? What am I finna do? Play COD? Nah. I gotta see what my girlfriend is. I think I'm gonna go bowling with her, but I don't know. I'm not sure. How do you deal with a client that asks for too much? Tell them. You gotta tell them they ask for too much. If somebody ever asks you for too much, just break things down to them and make them understand why you feel that way. Like if a client wants a video from me an hour after we shoot it, I break down every single thing that I have going on in my life and I make it seem as extreme as possible. Bro, I got a kid, I got a girlfriend, I got a family, I gotta do 8 YouTube videos, I got 2 music videos in front of you. Like, just tell them exactly how you feel and just make them feel why you feel that. I'm not leaving the GH5. Woody's live streams always stay random. I am always enjoyed with both the YouTube live and Instagram live. Yeah, I mean, they're not necessarily random. I have like ideas that I want to do for Gear Talk, but yeah. Do you do live streams weekly? Yeah, I do. I'm trying to do Gear Talk every Friday, so expect another Gear Talk next Friday. Quasar tubes are dope. I shoot a lot of 1080 on the GH5. It's pretty nice. What is a mistake you've made that's improved your work moving forward? I've made tons of mistakes. Tons. I make a mistake every time I shoot. Every time I shoot, I make a mistake, and I try not to do it again the next time. What do you think of doing photography on a 6300? Do photography with whatever you have access to. I took photos on my phone for a long time. The GH5S looks like a dope camera. I'm not interested in it myself, but looks like a cool camera. Thanks for your stream, bro. All the tips tonight. Thanks, you inspire. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here in like 5 minutes. So if you got a question to ask, get it out there so I can answer it before I get up out of here. What do I think about Blackmagic cameras? They seem like cool cameras. I mean, I've seen some really dope footage come from the Ursa Mini. What's more important about cinematic shots, blurry backgrounds or slow motion? I don't think it's either one of those. I think it's lighting. I think lighting is the most important with the cinematic shot. Have I ever felt like quitting? Yes, tons of times. But never to the point where I actually quit. What color Porsche am I copping? My Porsche is gonna be white. It's gonna be white. Whatever Porsche I end up getting, it's gonna be white. But who knows? It might be black. I think it's gonna be white though. I think it's gonna be white. I'll need like tan interior too. It's gonna be fire. The 120D. Definitely 1080p on the GH5. When a client hires you from out of state, do you charge for the plane ticket? Yes, definitely. Do you feel shooting music videos is repetitive? Definitely. Do you calibrate your monitors? I don't calibrate my monitors. G7 is something else for that price. The G7 is the best thing that you can get in that price range, I think. Should I put money towards a speed booster or save for a full frame? Depends on what you're into. If you like full frame, go for it. Where do you see yourself in the future? I don't see myself in the future. I enjoy myself for what's going on right now. I don't really care too much about that. It's about right now. If you live for the future, you're not gonna appreciate the present. Is the GH5 good for long shoots like corporate stuff? I would say so. I would say so. It's not the best low light, so if you're not able to do that much lighting, maybe not. I've definitely had to do edits to a music video. You skipped my question. Ask again. I didn't see it. You're a great filmmaker. You are truly inspiration. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that a lot. I have a lot more research to do for sure. Always try to do research, man. Have you ever used I've never used those lenses. Haven't used them. Have not. How did you vlog with the 6300? The autofocus on it is pretty solid. Just put it on like some sort of shutter priority or aperture priority, you'll be good. Yeah, I've definitely deleted a project before and had to redo it. What type of Porsche are you getting? Probably either a Panamera or a Cayenne. Am I gonna release more preset packs? While we're talking about preset packs, the Branding Kit 2.0 is probably gonna release on Tuesday, I think. The GH4 is definitely still a good camera buy. How would you expand? Expand on what? What is that like? What are you trying to expand on? Yeah, I'll get a red eventually. What's all in the new branding kit? So the new branding kit is gonna have 3 Instagram video templates, 3 Instagram story templates, 5 Lightroom presets, 5 LUTs, 3 banner presets. Basically the same thing that was in the last branding kit. It's just gonna be new stuff though. Which computer specs are good for editing 4K? I don't know too much about computers, to be completely honest with you. When am I getting a C200? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Look, I'm about to check out. Appreciate y'all for checking out this live stream. Make sure y'all make it back here next week. Make sure y'all go follow me on Twitter, Instagram. And if you have any questions, just tweet them to me. I'm always on Twitter. I'm always responsive on Twitter. Yeah. Appreciate y'all, but I want to answer this last question though. My bad. How do you end up discovering smaller YouTubers like Cam Brown? Honestly, I have no clue how I found Cam Brown, to be completely honest with you. I don't even know. But that's it though. I'm out. I appreciate y'all for checking out the live stream. If you're watching the replay, drop it a like. And make sure you make it into this next week because I'm going to be doing these every Friday. So peace out, y'all, man. Appreciate you.